Hello, my name is Mayan Gutierrez, and today I will be presenting my informative speech on why dogs are beneficial to your life for my oral communication in organizations course. First, I would like to start off by introducing Saint. Saint is my 3-year-old Lab and Husky mix puppy that I received for Christmas from my partner 3 years ago. Ever since Saint came into my life, he has definitely changed my life. He is adventurous, he is crazy, he is kind. He's taught me personally a lot about myself that I never thought an animal would teach me. And so that's why I decided to do my presentation on him today. I feel as if at times we take animals and pets for granted. And so, for me, sharing my personal story today, I hope that will teach you why dogs are beneficial to your life. This point is based off of dogs and how they help you build responsibility. So, from personal experience, I can say that my dog has definitely helped me build a responsibility, but not just myself, as well as my partner and my family, because that's another individual to look after. They need their food, they need their water, they need their basic necessities. And so here are just a couple photos of me and how I build responsibility with my pet. So obviously the first one is making sure that they have a place to sleep. So this was his first Christmas and he got a big bed and he just knocked out. The second one is just us taking a nap. The third one is birthdays. We do celebrate his birthday. And the last one was just a recent photo of him getting comfortable in my bed.
Good boy.
When it comes to building responsibility, I believe that dogs can help you very strongly in your preparation for the future. So, what I mean by preparation of the future is whether you plan on having children or not, you're still taking care of somebody, whether that's your dog, whether that's yourself. It's preparation for the future, as in taking care of yourself. So, obviously, you need the basic necessities, as I did mention before. You need food, water, shelter, care, all those types of necessities, and dogs are a great way to help you find those necessities and find what you really need, as well as age appropriate tasks. So, age appropriate tasks when it comes to having a family or sharing the dog with individuals, you'll have age appropriate tasks like first graders, for example. They are tiny. They're about 6 years old, so they can easily feed the dog and give the dog water. You may not want to let them walk the dog depending on the size of the dog, but that's just an example. Point that dogs do help build responsibility are based on the 5 C's of responsibility. So Cesar Millan, the dog whisperer, has a website called caesarsway.com, and this is where I learned where the 5 C's of responsibilities are. So the first C is commitment. So obviously when you own a dog, it's for life, it's for commitment. And so he goes on to talk about, like, for example, if you need to move, you need to find a place that can accept dogs. And the second one is cost. So he begins to speak about how the average cost of a regular dog care can be from 600 to 900 per year, and it's not including any extras like emergency treatment or medication or the diet of the animal, but just the cost and being willing and able to provide for that dog, just like you would provide for yourself. My third C is care. So, besides food and water, obviously you need to walk your dog. You need to take your dog to the vet at least once a year for a wellness exam. You need vaccinations. You need treatment, like, for example, against fleas, ticks, parasites, etc. My fourth C is control. So obviously you want to have a level of respect for your dog and you want your dog to have the same level of respect for you. And so that begins with building a relationship with your dog and understanding what your dog likes, what your dog doesn't like, understanding how to speak to your dog. I know there's a lot of different ways to speak to your dog and different kinds of tone of voices that you can use so that way your dog understands you and where you're coming from. And the last C of responsibility is consideration. So obviously, dogs can impact anybody, and they are able to be socialized and trained, and I think that's what people need to consider when it comes to dogs and responsibility. So, some examples that I wrote down of being a dog parent are buying the essentials. Obviously, you need like a brush, you need a collar, you need a leash, just the essentials, treats, dog toys, if you would like, as well as vaccinations. Vaccinations are extremely important. They come around sometimes once a year, sometimes a couple times a year. You do have to get some, like the deworming and just the basic rabies vaccinations, as well as health care, and just being prepared. I know I was looking into the PetSmart ban. I was looking into the PetSmart Banfield emergency hospital and just the things that they offer for their animals. They do offer like insurance plans, and sometimes work companies offer that as well. And then another example would be training. I would highly suggest training. It teaches you the bare minimum and the basics as to when it comes to owning a dog, and the owners are very passionate. Personally, at PetSmart, that's where I went, and I genuinely enjoyed learning and building my responsibility with Saint. My second point as to why dogs are beneficial to your life are in regards to support and health. So, dogs can help you and support you emotionally, physically, mentally, and all of the above. There are many different types of dogs who are trained to do many different types of things and to help many different types of people. So, there are service dogs. We know those are working dogs. There is also therapy dogs. And according to therapydogs.org, there are 3 different types of therapy dogs. The first one and the most common one are the therapeutic visitation dogs. So these are the dogs that you see at local hospitals or at nursing homes or rehabilitation centers, just visiting their patients and making them feel appreciated and understanding what they're going through. The second type is an animal assisted therapy. So these relate to physical and occupational therapy, and they are trained to achieve goals of maintaining the motion in limbs, fine motor control, or just regaining skills for other individuals who are going through things. And the last one is facility therapy dog. So these dogs work with nurses in the nursing homes and are often trained to keep patients with Alzheimer's disease or other mental illnesses from getting into any trouble. So these are the type of therapy dogs. There's also hearing dogs, seizure response dogs, seizure alert dogs, FASD alert dogs. So that has to do with alcohol. And according to 4pawsforability.org, FASD assistant dogs are a placement program for kids with FAS or FASD, as well as kids who were exposed to drugs prenatally. This hidden disability leaves an individual with neurological behavior and emotional impairments, which is why they do provide animals so that way the children can grow up feeling better emotionally, physically, and mentally. Next type of dog is a psychiatric service dogs, and then we have emotional support animals. And according to petfinder.com, an emotional support animal is defined by their ability to comfort people through affection and companionship. There's also autism support dogs, allergy detection dogs, and mobility assistance dogs. So, as you can tell, there are many different kinds of service and working dogs, and they are all trained in their respective fields and are trying to do better for their individual. My next clip is an example that I found on Instagram of a therapy dog. So in this video, you will see that his owner is going through a lot of different things. So she is having a seizure in the first part. She is drinking or getting drunk in another part of the video, and you'll see how the dog reacts and how the dog will protect her and save her. Another reason why I believe dogs are beneficial to your life is based off of happiness. I believe that after owning a dog, I have learned that dogs do provide happiness. So, from my personal experience, raising a dog hasn't necessarily been the easiest thing, but I have come to love it and have a stronger passion for animals and dogs entirely. Last point as to why dogs are beneficial to your life are because they increase satisfaction in your family life. So, for my personal experience, I'm using my family, my partner, and a post that my dad had put on his Instagram just because I feel like the relationship and the bond between my family has definitely grown just in owning a dog. We have all taken responsibility, and my little siblings, for example, have learned responsibility when it comes to a pet. They have been helped by him mentally, physically, emotionally. And so the first photo is where we actually took my dog on vacation. I don't think we ever had a bond this close with any of our animals until we have Saint. We just have this super close bond with him, and we took him on vacation with us up north. The second photo is when we took him to the snow. I know that doesn't look like there's much snow in there, but there was snow in other areas of where we were at. And that's where him and my partner and we just ran around in the snow, and that was his first time in the snow. And the last photo is a post that my dad actually put on Facebook, and he says, "Me and Saint out for a hike, missing family on this Sunday fun day. He loves the Jeep but acts like my son Luke, who gets tired and bored fast." So I thought this was very cute and different. I know my dad at first wasn't okay with me getting the dog, but he has definitely grown to form his own relationship with my dog. I mean, he took him in a Jeep and he takes him for a hike and walk almost every day. And so I can see the increase in satisfaction from my family life just from owning a dog. To say thank you for hearing my personal experiences and my story with Saint. I do believe that dogs are beneficial to your life because they build responsibility. They can support you in multiple ways as well as increase your health mentally, physically, emotionally. They provide happiness to you and others in your life and can increase satisfaction in your family life. I would like to end with the quote, "Dogs are not our whole life, but they make our lives whole." Thank you.